watch this before you trade tomorrow. If you want to see where the market is, we're going to look at the S&P and the NASDAQ. We're going to give you targets, and we're going to tell you what would change in order to change those targets being achieved tomorrow. Stay right here. We'll get right to it. Okay, welcome back to Day Trade Like a Pro. We're looking at a 5-minute S&P chart. It's March 6th. I cannot be here to trade tomorrow on the 7th, and so I want to go over a couple of things, and I want to show you what happened today and put that a little bit into context, and then I want to show you tomorrow what might change. Now, keep in mind, tomorrow we have Powell testifying again. He testified this morning. We have him testifying again. We also have some news, so obviously things can change on news, but I just want to show you where the picture is today and what the market told us today. Now that can change tomorrow, so let's just stress that tomorrow things can change. I'm not going to be here, and I won't be able to tell you in real time what's actually happening or how things are changing, but let me show you what the market gave us today and how that played out and what we're looking for if nothing changes, what we're looking for. So right out of the gate, let's just look over here. This is a 5-minute chart on the S&P. We get the open. It moves up to this green line. This is kind of a minor level that would act kind of like a little bit of an interim, as far as, you know, we wouldn't expect this to be the top of the market or something like that. Not on a certainly not on a day like this. We started out, and in our trade room we said that 98 quarter was the breakdown level, and there was a level right down here. I think it was at 97 quarter or 97. It actually was this low right over here. It just happened to test that 97 quarter, tested that. And so we said as long as 97 quarter didn't break, that was going to be fine, but that ideally 98 quarter would hold. So what happened? They came up, they hit right here, they pulled back to yellow, and yellow held from 11.5 for a move up to 17 quarter. So you could get a handful of points on this, but then it eventually came back and got you out at break even. And then we had news right here at 10 a.m., 7 o'clock on my charts, but we had news right here. So this ended up moving lower. This green line was not here. The market gave us that later on in the day. So that green line was not there. This green line was there. I did not trade that. And let's just see. I didn't trade it, and I'll show you why I didn't trade it. Let's see. I didn't trade it because it had already been down there. I don't know what the reaction was like. Yeah, I just went right through it, and that doesn't surprise me because let me show you what had happened earlier was that we'd really already been back to retest that level right here. So you see we have the green line at 05.5. It came to 06. I didn't really like being a buyer again off of this level, especially with the news. So I was looking at this area, this 99.5, 98 quarter, that area for buying. And you can see 98 quarter held. And at this point, we had a target up at 23. Where am I? 23.75 right here, this green line. So this was the target right here when the market traded down here, and we knew that. We knew that all ahead of time. We said that in the morning. So it probed this level by 2 ticks. It moved up to the yellow line, pulled back to the green line, and then moved out of there, came back to this green line, and then moved away from there all the way up to our target. Ended up going to the target. The next target we had, you can see right here, was 27 quarter. And then we have another target up here, and I think this is really important. We have 35 3/4, and then we have other stuff up here too. You can ignore these, but we have other stuff up here. We have 42 3/4. These will change a little bit over, you know, day to day, but we also had stuff. I mean, you can see we have all these green lines are targets up here. So lots and lots of targets going up to 51.68.5, and that's just from today. So what I want to point out to you is that the market stalled out at 33 quarter. It probed it just a little bit, stalled out right here, and then a lot of selling. And where did it come back to? It came all the way back to retest the breakdown level. It got 1 tick from the breakdown level. Ultimately, that ended up holding. It didn't come back and test again. It held right here again and then moved up to this green line, which is where I thought it would move up to, came back to here. But even if you just wanted that, just this trade from 99 half up to here is 15 half. So that's a 16 points. If you go a couple ticks in front of each of those, it's still a 15-point trade. So even at the end of the day, just a really nice opportunity right there, and then pulled right back to green to the tick. But look at how many of these are getting used to the tick. So if you don't think we are on to something and have something here about how we're mapping out the mark and what we're doing here. Yes, we have a number of levels, but we understand how to use those and that they have different purposes. And you can see within 2 ticks here, within a couple of ticks right here, it pulls back. We want to be primarily buying, so within a point or so right here, within a tick or 2 right there, to the tick right there, probes through that a little bit, barely probes through this, 5 ticks, probes through a 1 tick before it sells off, comes all the way down, stops at green because green was fresh, it was reset, so stops at green, bounces back up here, holds this level, and then moves down into here, our breakdown level, moves back up, fails, comes back. I mean, this was just all, you can see. I don't make up the rules about how we get targets and how we get different levels throughout the day. That's all the market doing that. So I'm not the one making up those rules. So, and then we pulled back here and we hit green to the tick and then we moved over here. So if this stays intact, and it could change a little bit overnight, it's possible it could end up being a little bit lower, would be the breakdown level. But if this stays intact, and for sure if this stays intact, if this is the low and that's all we see, and by the way, yesterday on the S&P we had 5,063 3/4 and 5,062 half. The low was 63 exactly. So we had a pretty good sense that was probably the low was in from yesterday and that we'd see another rally. But just to give you an idea, we had target here at 98.25 and we said target 23 3/4. So that's the target for that. And then we had another target up here at 27.25 and then a little bit of an interim here, which ended up holding things up a bit today and then pulled all the way back. So let's go. So again, if this holds up, at a minimum we should be back up here in this 35 3/4 and even 42 3/4, and there's a bunch more up there as well. So we'll just have to see how it all plays out. Now let's look at NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, you can see it opens. It hits, this is yesterday's green line. It hits yesterday's green line within a few ticks. Ends up coming down here. I had an order at 62 right here at 962 on the NASDAQ. You can see that the low was 63 half. So it missed my order by 6 ticks and it ripped out of here. But when it came back right here, so I missed the entry down here, but I didn't chase it. When it came back right here, I was able to hop in here, and then it came up and it came back here, and you can see it basically held to the tick, and I got in here, and the target was up to this yellow line. So that's a nice trade. That's 16. That's a 60-point trade from here to here, but also from here, that's like an 80-point trade from here to yellow. And then really the target was this level right here, and I'll show you that right here, 169.25, and we probed up above that, and then it kind of held up here, and then obviously NASDAQ never got quite as low as the ES did, which is kind of a promising look if they're going to continue to move it higher. And so let me show you what else they have up here. So we have 193 3/4 is the next level up here, and there's targets all over here. 263 or 267, 311, 324, 371, 393. These are all targets that we got today from NASDAQ. So if things stay strong tomorrow and the lows hold up, then look for a much bigger move up there. Now, if the lows don't hold up, that's going to be a whole different, that's not today's scenario. It never played out today. That's going to be tomorrow's scenario. And I can't map that out for you right now because I don't know what tomorrow is going to look like. I actually do not have a crystal ball. But if the lows hold up, then we're looking to rally to continue to those higher targets. So there you have it. Hopefully that's helpful. If you come in here in the morning and the lows have all held up, and they continue to hold up throughout the trading day, well, that would give you a pretty good indication of what we're looking for next in the market and some of the numbers that. So jot those down and then pay attention to that, and those are the numbers that we're looking for on NQ and ES. So hopefully that's helpful, and I will see you. May not get a video out tomorrow, but I'll be back on Friday for sure, and I'll see you on that next video.